Hey guys, another fantastic installment of the Big Boy Diaries. I am coming to you live from the 2019 Kia Sportage. I guess this is where I do all my best work. Who knows? But I kind of want to talk to you guys about a couple of things today. First of all, I compared pictures of myself from January 31st and January 31st, 2019 and January 31st, 2020. And you'll be able to see that picture right here. So, obviously, January 31st of last year, apparently, I was trying to lose weight. I don't know. I can't quite remember what I was doing, whether it be diet or just, I really don't know. But it amazes me. And this is, again, why I think it's important for you to take your pictures, regardless of what program you're on, whatever you're trying to do, whatever, if you're trying to gain mass or lose weight or slim down, tone up, whatever you're trying to do. I think pictures are very important because you can actually see the difference from one to the other. I never thought that I would have so many day one pictures in my life, but apparently I do. But January 31st of last year, 2019, there was a picture, and some aspects of my body I was okay with and would have been more excited if they was the same way in 2020. But things happen, and your skin only has so much elasticity. It can only handle so much. So instead of there's another picture I think that I may have put together of the one that I just showed was profile, which I'm way more proud of. The other picture is me facing the camera, and I noticed that at that point my belly button hadn't started to go this way, like down. Kind of upsetting, but still, to look at the side-by-side picture, way more difference. I'm in a way better place in 2020 than I was probably January 2019. And I kind of want to talk to you about where mentally I've came to. So in 2019, I'm still at the same job. At that time, I was probably still way too big, which I'm still, I guess, in most opinions or most viewpoints, I'm still too big, but I'm on my way. But there's this song by For King Country called Burn the Ships, and I heard it play, and I don't know, it's like a switch was flipped. And then I've been reading Positively Unstoppable, which is Diamond Dallas Page's book, and he mentions in a section of the book, he mentions the Vikings. Now, if you don't know the significance of burning the ships, I'm going to try to briefly explain it to you. When Vikings would come up to a new land, or they would come up to a new territory, or they would go into battle, when they got to the shore, they would burn the ships. And that meant one of two things. Either they would die trying to conquer the new land, or they would succeed and it would become theirs. And, really from any perspective, if you look at that kind of has to be your mentality if you're trying to change your life. Because if you leave yourself a gateway to go back to who you was, or to who you were, or to a certain action, or to a lifestyle or habit, if you don't burn the ship that can take you back to that, you'll never move forward. You'll always have something to fall back on. The moment that you get uncomfortable with life, you can always go back to eating terrible foods at a very high rate. But I was reading that before, just a few days before 2020 actually rang in. And it was very profound to me. And I'd actually listened to the audiobook before, but reading the words, I don't know, I guess it just done something differently, or at the time I wasn't really paying it any attention. But burning the ship in your life, making the decision that there is no turning back, that there is no option B, that you have to do whatever it is. It's the only way to face challenges in life. It's like you see these things. If you want something you've never had, you have to be willing to do things that you've never done, and that's 100% true. If you want a body that you've never had, if you want a mental state that you've never had, if you want a job that you've never had, or a position in your company that you've never had, you have to be prepared and willing to do things that you've never done before. But if you leave the gateway there for you to go back to that mindset, or to go back to that habit or that lifestyle or those friends, because sometimes in life, and I've figured this out recently, sometimes, even though it hurts, you have to cut ties. Because of the fact, whatever you're surrounded by, you become. Tony Robbins says something very profound. If you want to see what you're going to be, or if you want to see what you're like, look at the people, the people that you hang around the most, the 5 people that you hang with the most. And that's true in life, that's true in your professional career, that's true in any aspect. If the 5 people that you're around most if they engage in poor habits, poor eating habits, poor lifestyles, or their mental state isn't the greatest, or their emotional state isn't the greatest, chances are they've probably rubbed off on you, or you're just like them. And if you want to change, you have to change. You have to change your environment. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to leave those people or never partake in any kind of conversation with those people. But what that does mean is you have to be a force of change. And I've stated for my 2020 that I burned the ships and never looked back. I had an interview for another job, and I obviously didn't go back to do the assessment. Part of me will always regret that. But at the same rate, I feel that the people that conducted the interview were very transparent, and it wasn't the right choice for me at the time. So there's that. I wanted to change jobs. I wanted to make more money. I wanted to have more of a home life, or have more control over my schedule. And although it provided most of those things, right now in this current situation, I don't think it would be a very good move. But at the same rate, the guy that conducted the interview made a statement that kind of woke me up, I guess you would say, about my current situation, because the place that I work at now, there is just a cloud of negativity over the entire place. And people don't want to be here. They don't want to work here at this store, or maybe even for this company. And it's hard to overcome that, and that's not a lie. But the guy that conducted my interview, he asked me, he said, "So you've been at your company now for 5 years. Why all of a sudden do you want to change jobs?" And I gave him those reasons. I told him exactly why I wanted to leave. And he asked me, he said, "Well, 5 years is a really long time to spend anywhere." He basically asked me, he said, "Have you tried everything that you could to make a difference, to make yourself enjoy it again, to make yourself happy there again. And honestly, I mean, he said it so quick that I didn't really even have time to come up with what is probably deemed the right answer. So I told him, I was like, man, honestly, the way things are, I've kind of give up on trying to fix what's wrong. And he's like, well, I really appreciate you being honest, and I respect that more so than anything. So moving forward from that situation, I think that's something we all kind of have to. We have to gauge the situation if we're trying to get out of something, or if we're trying to get away from something or someone or a job. If we feel that it's such a negative situation, have we tried everything possible to make it work or to make it better? And there is some situations that you're never going to make better. There's situations that you're never going to impact in such a way that everything's going to change. But you also have to look big picture. I was getting ready to embark on a new career that some months I could possibly make more than I've ever made on a monthly basis, and then on some months make less. It was in car sales, by the way. Obviously I'm not going to go into detail with what car lot or what association or who I'm with now, but I'm here now, and I'm trying my very best to make the most of the situation that I've got in front of me. And sometimes that's a thing that you have to do. I don't ever recommend jumping from something that is secure to taking a step into the unknown that could potentially be a worse situation. Because although the situation at work with people that I deal with, whether it be customers or coworkers, I make a decent living. I don't make doctor money or lawyer money, but I'm making more than probably managers of stores or just regular Joe Schmo jobs. I'm in, well, at one time, what was considered probably coal miner money. So it is what it is. So I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit and try to make the most of every day. And I suggest the same thing for you. Make the most of every day. Whatever you do, try to find the good in it. Try to make it the very best that you can. But trying to think if I've talked about everything that I would like to talk about. Guess not. So, but takeaways that I got from this one for you. Try to make the most out of every situation, whether it be positive, negative, or neutral. To change your life, you have to be willing to burn the ships and never look back. And take your pictures. I've literally said that in the closing parts of every video since I've started, for whatever reason. Maybe not the first couple, but taking your pictures, man, it's well worth it, and it doesn't take 10 seconds to take 2 pictures, or however many pictures you want to take. But that's my advice to you. Whatever change you want to make, you have to be willing to burn the ships and never look back. And you have to live by the phrase, or the lifestyle has to be, I'm going to succeed or I'm going to die trying. And I mean, I think that's the best way to attack every day. Every day is going to be a success, or I'm going to die trying to make it a success. I'm going to give it everything that I've got, 110% every single day of my life. Whatever it is you're doing. If you're home and you're with your kids, make the most out of every day. Play with your kids, and I'm terrible for that. I am awful. That is me being 100% transparent. I'm like everyone else. I have my face glued to my phone like right now. It's 6:30. And I'm getting ready to go home. I'll probably go and sit on the couch and watch him play on his tablet. That's bad on my behalf, and I do try to do better. I will get down on the floor with him and play and wrestle and play with blocks, play with Legos, play with whatever action figures that he's got, whether it be the Puppy Dog Pals or we play with some of my old wrestlers or whatever. But you know what you need to do to change your life? If 2019 wasn't your year, 2020 can most definitely be your year. Whether you started in January or today's day one, you can make a difference. You just have to burn your ships and never look back. Your perspective has to be forward and not backward, because everything in 2019 you can't do anything about, but you can most definitely change your Monday morning, if it's Sunday, or if it's if it's the end of this month and you're looking at next month. You can definitely make a change in how the next day is, or the next week is, or the next month is, or the next year is. But from those pictures, I haven't been on the DDPY program for quite 6 months, but I can tell such a huge improvement from where I was to where I am, and to where I was last year to where I am now. Mentally, psychologically, physically, appearance-wise, everything, the whole 9 yards. You guys stay at it. Do your workout today. Do whatever it is that you're doing. Give it 110% nonstop. I love you guys. I want to see you do great things. And here's to your comeback story. Bye.